Hi, this is Chris with Invest LYH. Today, I'm just going to go over a few steps that I take whenever I'm analyzing deals. And what I want to call this video is how I identify a good cash on cash deal fast. So this is a way that you can kind of look on the back. Some people call it the back of the envelope calculation. So this is just my steps that I take in order to identify properties. This is a lot of times people ask like, well, how do you get your properties on Zillow? How do you find them? Well, I ID them pretty quickly, whether or not they're a good deal or not. So we're going to take a look at a property here today. Give me just a second to share my screen. My cat just jumped from my side and ran out because there's a squirrel that ran by the door. So that's why you guys saw me look. So this property is 1622 Buchanan Street in Lynchburg, Virginia. It would be definitely an all cash deal. And you can tell from some of the photos here that there's going to be some work that you're going to need to put into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list out and I'm going to go through how I do this for this property. But I mean, as I do it, I get quicker. So just like me, as you do this, you're going to get quicker at it and you're going to be able to identify good deals pretty quickly. Again, this is so that you can verify the numbers, and that's actually the fourth step on my list here. So let's go ahead and just go through the steps here. Give me just a second here. Oh, come on, move over. There you go. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, right, is number one, I'm going to get annualized rents. I use a tool called a Rentometer. If you know the area pretty well, you can kind of get an idea of what the annualized rents are, or if you know a good property manager, you can call and ask them what the annualized rent would be for well, first thing you're going to do is hit the monthly rents, and that's what I use a Rentometer for. You can see here it's 1242. I'm just going to round up. Again, this is a behind the envelope calculation, right? So what I do on this property is I'm going to round up to 1250, multiply that times 12, and I'm going to get $15,000. So now I know what I can expect for income on the property, $15,000 per year. That's my baseline, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cash figure. And what I mean by cash is, what is the cash figure all in for the property? So in this one, we are going to round up just briefly because I'm going to highlight the price here. It's $49,900. I'm going to round that up to $50,000. So let's go ahead and number two, get cash figure. And then what I have here is the $49,900. We're going to call it 50K plus, I assume it's going to be 50K in renovations. This looks like a pretty big gut job. And he may have difficulties with that assumption, but I mean, leave a comment and let me know what yours would be and we can redo the video. So right now I see that this is 100K all in. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the cash on cash analysis that you guys see in these videos all the time. So step three, cash on cash return. Sometimes I call it yield. Other people have called it yield, so I'm just going to call it yield. So we know that it's 15,000 divided by 100,000. So what is our cash on cash return? Pretty simple. It's going to be 15%. Step four, this is what I had mentioned earlier, and this is one of the ones that gets young investors caught up because they don't want to bother people. They don't want to do this. They don't want to bug the real estate agents that they know, because the real estate agents are always trying to sell them, which is why I would say get a good relationship with a real estate agent so that when they see you calling, they know that you're calling with a purpose. Number four, verify all the numbers. So this is where my videos leave off. I often tell you in different videos, I don't do it in every video, and I apologize for that. Verify these numbers. Don't take this at face value. So the step here is to call property manager. For what number? For the 1250. Call your contractor or your roofer or your HVAC. For what number? For the 50K in rehab. And you also want to call your agent for this 49.9. Can you get it for 40? Because that will make a huge difference when you guys are looking to look at your cash on cash yield. So now the next step after you do this, and I do say this sometimes in the videos as well, right? So let's go to step 5. Let me scroll up a little bit. Do cash on cash return with verified numbers. That is critical. So now when you have all these numbers, you can do the cash on cash return with those numbers. And the last step is a step that you can take. I do have a friend who's doing this right now. And in order to do this step, you have to know the area pretty well. So, but this step is to refi. Because if we look, I don't know if I have it on here. I do. So give me a second here. Let me pull this down. If we refied this home, you can see that the value is not 49K. Oh, let me get out of that picture there. There you go. So here's the home that we're looking at, 49.9, right? Well, this house here recently sold for 106, 75, 73. That's probably land, so you're going to get rid of that one. There is one for sale at 199, but I saw that's a for sale by owner, so that doesn't necessarily have a professional opinion on the value of the home. But I mean, there's one here for, it looks like 130, 87. So if you can, right, because you purchased the home and for 50K, put in 50K, so now you're 100K in. Can you extract 75K and only have 25K in? Oop. Because here's the thing, right? Once you do that, right? So this was your total out of pocket. Now you have back into pocket. Now your out of pocket costs are 25. Now I'll do the math really quickly on the annual. So then we look at the cash on cash return. Let's say this is 6 months down the road. Now you have 15K divided by the new amount of 25K. Now your new cash on cash return for this house after 6 months is 60%. Do you know any place on Wall Street that is giving a 60% return on your cash? This is also why a lot of people like to go into investments with cash and buy all cash deals, because they can refinance them afterwards. So I don't necessarily talk about these very often because I'm trying to help those people out there who don't have a rental yet and they're trying to get their first few. But this would be a strategy that you could use down the road. Now, you could use it first, and there's a lot of places out there. The bigger pockets crowd loves these types of deals. I would not recommend it for the initial investment. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. You guys need to know how much a water heater costs. You need to know how much an HVAC system costs, how much insulation. The house I'm living in right now, the insulation is something that we need to do. You guys need to know these things up front so that when you get there, you can make these assumptions in order to get these 60% returns. So hope this video helped you guys. Again, let's go back up real quick and look. I'll try to get it here on the steps. Get annualized rents, get your cash figure, the total amount of cash that you're putting into the deal, do the cash on cash yield, verify all your numbers, do the cash on cash with the verified numbers. And the sixth one is an optional one where you can verify the rents. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day. And I'm so happy that you guys are helping me build this channel. Thanks a lot. Bye.